Hi everybody, here is TUFU, the Central American boa. He is a pure locality, no morph of any kind. It's 100% locality. We can go outside today and have him look around, see what's going on, right buddy? Pardon my dirty work boots, but I just came home from work and I took them out. I'm crawling around and get some fresh air, get some exercise. He's about 3 feet in length. He just turned 2 years old. This is a 2-year-old male. And for those who have been following me for quite some time, know that he had inclusion body disease. And I know that's hard to believe because it's supposed to be 100% fatal. Until, of course, you know what to do and to treat him for it. In fact, I think he caught it when I first acquired him. He was the first snake in my collection. And Rose was my second Aztec snake in my collection. And they both came down with the virus at the same time. So once I knew how to treat it, I acquired the Guyana boa and Hercules, knowing well in advance that they were also infected from other collections, and I wound up taking them in because nobody else is going to take them in. Not only did I take them in, I actually paid money for them. And neither owner was asking money for them, but that's the story, and this kind of turned into a project rather than a snake keeping adventure. It turned into more of a science project. Isn't that right, buddy? You're very curious as to what's going on. Look at the coloring and the patterns. He's got that rust color on his belly. Beautiful scales. I'll set you down, let you crawl around a little bit. See how you act to the grass. I don't know where these feathers came from. And it is windy as hell out. Can't help that. Keep an eye out and make sure that no hawks decide to swoop down. That's why I'm kind of, there's one over there, turkey hawk, and when you have a snake this size outside and you leave him unattended, he can go for a ride. I don't know if you can, the camera's picking that turkey hawk up right there. And you have to be careful. Oh, come on, buddy, I don't want the ants. There's ants right here. I've seen one over here. You don't want that. I was saying the hydroxytyrosol and the oleuropein, the oleuropein in the olives in the organic olives is what treats the virus. It's quite amazing. See, you have two viruses out there. You have the adenovirus, and then you have inclusion body disease. No expert's going to be able to tell them apart without blood tests. The main difference between the two, well, they both have the exact symptoms: head tilt, corkscrewing, stargazing, lack of appetite, you name it. It's like a reptilian meningitis type of infection. But then what happens is the inclusions start on IBD. And basically think of it as a ransomware attack on the body. What happens is these inclusions start suppressing the blood cells. And that's what causes the bacteria infections and the guaranteed 100% fatality death. But then I discovered that hydroxytyrosol actually will, think of it this way, the blood cells get encrypted, we'll call it that. They get encrypted with viral proteins, and it doesn't destroy the red and white blood cells. What happens is the red and white blood cells get arrested, or they get encrypted. They're no longer functioning as they should. So then the hydroxytyrosol and the oleuropein will decrypt the blood cells and allow the immune system to take over with adequate heat and humidities and passive immunity, and their immune systems will then kick in, and then they will recover from the virus. And that's why I got the other two boas that were already pre-infected before I got them, to make sure that this was not a fluke. And yes, I know the tests still have to come out and retesting has to be done, but as you can see, this animal has been 21 months since clinical illness. And yeah, not asymptomatic, clinical. Big difference. No. Oh, damn it. Well, yeah, come on out. There you go. Asymptomatic pretty much means, I'll give you my terminology. Asymptomatic means that the virus is live and it can replicate at any time. It has already hijacked the host cell, and the host cell is just in there and it's living. Well, not living, but we'll say it can start reproducing at any time at once. And small bacteria starts to form in the ways of mucus and respiratory infections. That's how it usually starts out. And as the virus progresses, it starts weakening the immune system, and the blood cells start becoming encrypted, and that will cause complete organ fibrosis, kidney failure, liver disease, blood disease, you name it. It can happen in this type of infection. So then we decrypt the blood cells so they return back to normal operation, and the hydroxytyrosol and the oleuropein inside the olives, the organic olive oil, the governors, will in fact bring new life into these animals. It's quite amazing, it really is. And if you look at the olive trees in general, they're among the living trees, longest living trees in the world. Average 2,000 to 3,000 years old. They're drought and disease resistant. And the olives they put out are amazing. Look at those eyes. You are just all curious about the red light flashing on this camera, aren't you? Now the adenovirus has the same effect, except it doesn't encrypt the blood cells, so therefore it's not fatal. And bearded dragons especially are the ones who seem to carry it. At least that's who they blame it on, are the bearded dragons, and they can be transferred over to your boa or your Burmese python or whatever you have. And it would be the adenovirus, and everyone would think that their snake has inclusion body disease, when in fact it doesn't, because the blood cells are not being encrypted. So you would have to go to a lab and have the blood analyzed. And if you get a blood test back that says he's infected but no inclusions are being detected, that means it's most likely the adenovirus, and you would have to seek out a professional that can actually distinguish the two viruses. Unfortunately, this guy had the inclusions detected in his blood. The inclusions, again, are the viral proteins being encoded or encrypted, or however you want to describe it, inside the blood cells that are going to neutralize the blood cells and keep the animal from living. And that occurred 2 years ago in this animal. That's how I know it works, because if it didn't work, he wouldn't be alive. You cannot, this vertebrae right here cannot stay alive with non-functioning blood cells, okay? So, in fact, did work, that's for sure. Didn't it? So think of an inclusion as a mass stuck inside another mass, like the core of the Earth. The core would be the inclusion of the Earth, okay? That's basically what these viral proteins do. They insert themselves inside the cells, and they get stuck inside the cells, and they render the cells useless, and the hydroxytyrosol penetrates the cell membranes along with the oleuropein. Right, buddy? And decrypts the blood cells and returns them back to normal operation, along with other vitamins and high protein diets. And I made a bunch of videos on how the process goes. Well, you are strong. Yes, you are. And I make these videos for people that can understand what's going on, and they want to save their animal's life. It's very doable. And no, he's not going to be contagious or a biohazard for the rest of his life. That's just fiction, of course, isn't it? Right, buddy? Are you enjoying yourself? You're gonna eat later today. Does that make you happy? Yes, you're gonna get your high protein gerbil. I don't know, it might give you a quail. I haven't decided yet. Oh, you're gonna go on my shirt. So I'm gonna have to cut the video short to get you out. Oh no, you didn't. There you are. There he is. And the wind's kicking up again. He is squeezing the hell out of my fingers. That's okay. I like that. That tells me he has a lot of strength. Oh, I got you. Don't worry. I ain't going to let you fall. You're right back at it again, aren't you? And I make these videos to help people out so they know the difference between the adenovirus and inclusion body disease, and how they're both very treatable with the right combination of passive immunity in the animal's immune system, and the ability to decrypt their blood cells upon disease will fix the problems that you got, won't they? Okay, we'll see you next time.